Talk number 41. And I'm not obviously in my bed. I'm in the bed of my minivan. And I know that that's probably not even really a thing, a bed of a minivan, but I'm calling it that because I want to keep the theme strong. And so, as you know, I've been doing these bed talks now for quite some time. And I have interjected a little series here in honor of Minivan Mogul, the book that I have written and I'm in process of putting out. And so I thought, well, what more fun could we have than doing these from the back of my minivan with my dog? He's laying down. Hopefully he'll get up here in a minute and say hello. Today, I want to take a pit stop. And talk about the process, specifically the creative process, the process of our work, the process of our lives. So one of the things that I am learning in the process of writing this book and creating all this content and doing these things is that you're never done. You just think that you're done. So I have received my book back, and it is in its layout form. And so my job this week has been to go through it and read it front to back and make any additional edits, changes, or things that we need to do in order to get it ready to go to print. And this has been more nerve-wracking for me than I anticipated. It's been hard because while I am very, very familiar with my own content, many of these are stories I've told before. They're just tweaked and changed and modified for the book. I have not read this book front to back in its entirety. And like with most people, I have the same human insecurities as anyone else. I look at stuff and so I start reading it and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I start seeing, perceived mistakes or things that could be better. I see 1,000 things now looking back on this almost completed project that could be better. And my gut, instantaneous responses, we gotta stop. It's not ready. I'm not gonna do it. It's which is wrong. That's not the right way to be looking at this. The thing that I have had to put in my mind and continue to think about is you've got to trust the process. And if I scan back and I look at what the process really is when people write a book, is that many times people write a book and then they go back and they do a second edition. They do a third edition. They do a fourth edition. Why? Because they weren't done yet. Because they needed to change their minds. They needed to alter their perspective. They wanted to flesh out more. They got feedback that said, could you tell me more about this? A first edition is simply that, a first edition. Your project, that thing that you're working on, it's only the start. And I don't know if you get caught up in your mind like I get caught up in my mind sometimes about I just got to get this done. And once I'm done, and then I can walk away and I can life will be golden because I finished this thing and now I don't have to do any more work. And work is sometimes challenging and that's what happens. But dang it, that's not part of the process. If I have learned anything in this crazy wild ride that I have been on with Practically Speaking and Minivan Mogul, it's that trusting the process is the be-all, end-all thing. You must trust it. And the process says that it ain't over until it's over. And I mean over, like going to the big junkyard in the sky, kind of over. It's just not that. It doesn't work that way. You are constantly in process. You are constantly doing the next iteration and the next piece and the next thing. So my encouragement for you today, the why I'm telling you this today, is to remind you for that thing that you're working on, whatever it is, that thing that you're doing, that you're just so desperate to get it done and you want it done and you want it out and so you never have to look at it again. I want to remind you that thing that you're creating, that project that you're completing, that work that you're doing within yourself, that's just part of the process. Sometimes it's just the first step of the process. And so to encourage you to embrace that and remember that once you're done, you're not done. And that's not a bad thing. That's an exciting thing. That's a foothold on adventure, right? That's looking forward to the next road trip. And so if you're kind of in that weird place, just take a pit stop and remember to trust the process and that it ain't over until it's over. So enjoy the ride, enjoy where you were and where you're going. And also, don't be so hard on yourself about where you were at the very beginning of your journey, because it's going to change, it's going to morph, and it's going to grow. So don't pick on that version of yourself too hard, because that version was pretty great and was doing the best that they knew how. All right, let's see where we are. Ooh, not bad. All right, it's time for dogs eating Cheetos. And I want to remind you, if you're following along with all my antics and you want to join the Minivan Mogul Facebook page, please let me know. Because we have a fun little group going there. And this Friday is going to be Fancy Friday. So if you want to join me, I'm getting all fancied up because it's Friday. I did it last Friday. I thought, why not to do it again? Okay, here we go. Dogs eating Cheetos. Max, say hi. Oh, God, I love Cheetos. Okay. What is that on my microphone? Oh, gosh. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.